What's going on, you guys? This is Eric Cuts for the Win, and finally, let's talk about some E3 because there's just so much to talk about. I have to start somewhere, so I'm going to start with this video, but honestly, I was thinking I don't even know where to start because there's so much information, there's so many games I'm looking forward to. The conferences alone, I could spend hours on just talking about those, but I'm going to start with something simple and just kind of the top of my list kind of thing, and that's my biggest surprise of E3, and it came from Sony. And honestly, that's surprising within itself because when it came to Sony and when I was thinking about their conference, I didn't really think too hard. I knew they would deliver for the fans. I guess it was kind of that safe bet that, okay, Sony's gonna do their thing. Let me focus on Microsoft. Let me focus on some other stuff. I guess that's how I kind of took it. And what I expected from Sony was maybe a couple surprises, maybe some new IPs, but overall, I thought they were going to show a lot of VR. I thought they were going to spend maybe too much time on it. Also, I thought they were going to show some stuff we already knew about, obviously Horizon, which they did show, but I also thought they were going to show stuff like No Man's Sky again, some Destiny stuff because, you know, there's that new expansion coming. I thought for sure that would be there, so I was kind of thinking, okay, there might be some stuff that I'm not really interested in, but Sony, they're going to do their thing. They're going to bring the big games that fans really want, and even if it's not me personally, they're going to make a lot of people happy. That was kind of my mindset going in, and one of those games was definitely going to be God of War 4, or at least so we thought, right? Because that's not the title of it after all, it's just God of War, but we figured there's going to be something God of War. It was heavily rumored, it was pretty much all but confirmed true that it was going to be there, and so I expected that, and I knew people were going to go crazy. And me and God of War don't really have a history, so I wasn't personally really hyped about it, but I wanted to see it. I was curious about it, I wanted to see the graphics, see what they were going to do with the story. You know, I was just interested, I guess. God of War wasn't that franchise that brought me to Sony or brought me to the PlayStation. It didn't do that for me. I came to PS3 because of The Last of Us. I like story-driven stuff. I love what Naughty Dog does with their games. That's what kind of drew me in. Because before that, I was all on the 360, and then before that, I was just with Nintendo. So me and Sony, you know, we don't really have a huge history. I played PS1, I played PS2 when I could, and when my friends brought it over, or when my uncle had it, or whatever. But overall, I just never got into God of War in that way. You know, it just wasn't there for me like it was for a lot of other people. I was more about the other GOW, if you know what I mean. I was all into Gears. That was my GOW. So God of War is just kind of foreign to me because the gameplay, I don't know what it was about it. I guess just the hack and slash stuff, and it just wasn't my style. It wasn't a game that I was drawn to, you know. So I was expecting the same kind of thing, you know, a God of War 4, even if the character was different or the mythology was different. I just felt like it was going to be the same formula, same kind of action and same kind of gameplay and all of that. Here we are come E3 and Sony's conference, and it's completely what I did not expect. Just a total surprise. The gameplay is different. The camera is different. It's behind the shoulder instead of a fixated camera, I guess, especially when it comes to like bosses and stuff like that. God of War was always kind of that game, at least from my perspective. It was just like this fixed camera, this QTE kind of game where you hack and slash, and it's just this angry character that doesn't really have any other personality besides that. That's just how I saw it. So when they showed this new God of War and there was a human side to this new Kratos, and I think it's been confirmed that it's actually him. When I saw that, and you know, he was interacting with this little boy who I guess is his son, and he was teaching him how to hunt. He was kind of showing some sensitivity, some compassion, some feeling. And once I saw that, and I just saw how different the gameplay was, just in everything, the combat, the general presentation, the way he enters different areas, it's just kind of like an action RPG, a little Tomb Raider-ish, I guess, and just different inspirations I was kind of collecting in my mind, like, man, there's so much going on here. There's so much inspiration from other games. It just screamed that. So seeing that just was a huge surprise, and I was just in love with it. This is my kind of game. Okay, I know there's a lot of God of War fans. I've seen some comments. They're saying, rest in peace, God of War. This is not what we're used to. I don't like this. There's a lot of people who are upset. And I could see why, if they grew up on these games or they just got so accustomed to the gameplay. I get it. But for me, personally, this was like something I didn't even know I wanted. And it's kind of like this dream come true that I didn't even know I was dreaming. So I saw this gameplay during the conference and I was just so happy. I was tweeting about it. I was like, man, thank you, Sony. This is awesome. This was a huge surprise, and definitely the biggest surprise of E3 for me, at least so far, because there were so many leaks leading up to these conferences. There were so many rumors and things that I just expected to happen. And it's pretty crazy how Sony kept this lid so tight. This did not leak. There were a couple leaks about the mythology changing, the character possibly changing, a new protagonist and stuff like that. Or maybe a reincarnation or something. But other than that, that was it. I think I, along with everyone else, probably thought it was going to be the same kind of formula, same kind of gameplay, same type of game that God of War always was. And so to see it in this fashion was just, wow. I mean, I was really, really impressed, really surprised. And for them to kick off the conference with that, it was just awesome. They did a really good job. Sony really knows how to put on a show, and I'll probably go in more depth about that in another video because I kind of want to talk about Microsoft and Sony. Sony's conference was just really, really good. The orchestra was awesome. But that's it. I don't really want to go into like a whole detailed analysis here. But what do you guys think about God of War? Are you liking the changes being made? Do you like how it's been evolved? Are you on the same page as me, or are you just completely disappointed? What are you thinking about it? Let me know in the comments section. And thank you guys for watching this video. I'm going to try and make some more. I'm kind of pressed for time and busy and stuff, but there's a lot to talk about. So I'm hoping I can do some more videos throughout the week and weekend and just kind of get up to speed on this channel. So yeah, you guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.